All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully some more folks will join in as we get the presentation going. So today I'm hosting a workshop with art and code. I like to say emphasis on the art. My background is non-technical, but I was hoping to share with y'all today the technicals or friendly platforms that um, I have used over the last several years. I also will want to introduce CG visuals to y'all, and what our goals are in the future. So my name is Carla. I'm a award-winning visual artist, and I have been a visual artist for nearing a decade now. I started CG Visuals in 2023. This was a way for me to kind of just engage with emerging tech in a different way. I was introduced to several technologies, exposed to several technology cultures, and I really wanted to, as a artist, to benefit from this new wave, as well as, maintain the integrity of my art practice. So how it started. So I'll just show y'all this video very quickly. So it may not seem like much, but at the time this was quite revolutionary, in terms of art practice, I think, with combining traditional art and this emerging technology that we are seeing today. So Frustration, which I made back in 2023, this is a video interpolation of various abstract expressionism paintings that were deconstructed and fed into machine learning. So I use this program called Runway ML, and this program helped me just utilize GAN images that basically it's, feeding the computer various images, and these images in turn mash up with each other and then output its interpretation of it. Just a brief explanation. So yeah, this was me in turn turning all the abstract expressionist pieces that I had accumulated over my art practice and essentially collaborated with some of the latest technology, which is machine learning, under the umbrella of AI, which is currently a hot topic, I think, across the board. Um, so there's that. Great. So let's move on. That's how it started. Another platform that I came across during this exploration phase was Hydra. Hydra by Olivia Jack. This is basically a live coding video synth platform that works on JavaScript and web uh, WebGL. So let me go ahead, give me a second, and I'll get to that explanation of those terms for my non-technical folks. So Hydra by Olivia Jack, it sort of became this way for me to dip my feet into, this scene of emerging technology in small ways, because I still was holding on tightly to art practice. I'm coming from this space of, you know, tangible media like painting and printmaking and etc. So, you know, I was trying to dip my foot into this technology, but in a way that I was comfortable. And I feel like, in particular, Hydra was a really great gateway into tech. So just gonna share one more video with y'all during the presentation. Just give me one sec.
Check, hair, check, face, pretty, wet, walk in, don't speak, seen a op, not a peep, so mad they can't hide it, peace, let's choose violence, they loud, but it's quiet, no teeth so the throw a line, I'm a freak, that's known, I do what I want, I'm grown, y'all little talking like saints, trying to impress these, I ain't, I'm a freak, I'm a freak, tongue out with my hands on my knees. Pow, 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 pow.
All right, definitely a fan of that song, but excuse me, just a taste of this exploration or continued exploration of this Hydra medium, this video synth coding platform. So essentially, taking this traditional art and using code to remix it for performance. So had a lot of fun there, trying to, you know, showcase the just like the potential of this video synth platform. um, when we think about synth, maybe we're more familiar with it in synthesizers for music. So we use music across different genres. Maybe in the, you know, in techno music we use synth. There's a lot of synth in like new age, like cumbia for my Latin folks. But yeah, it's cool to think that this synthesizer can also exist in visual media. So. So yeah, that's where CG visuals came about. Just a cool little slide here. So it almost became like this obsession, trying to uh, use this video synthesizer to output as much media as possible. So utilizing like my existing art practice, I was able to produce 500 plus visuals. So essentially visual assets, or in other words, like VJ loops. So these visual assets that can be used for other industries, like in a tangible way. So this was exciting, and it was like a point of, okay, what am I gonna do with these visuals? And I wanted to just sharing, you know, continue sharing them with folks. So I would, you know, try to show up to jams in the Brooklyn community and trying to, I don't know, transpose these different visuals to other communities that maybe weren't exposed to them. um, a lot of, going back to the Hydra real quick, a lot of the community surrounding platforms like Hydra fall under the umbrella of creative coding, and creative coding as it currently exists. It kind of just leans more towards like technical folks, or at least in my experience, I felt like, oh, like it's a great medium, but a lot of folks, the way they utilize it is coding from scratch, which is fine too. But the way I was using it was as a tool. I was using it as a way to enhance or just remix existing artwork that I have that is already curated. So going back to this, like, for lack of a better word, obsession and creating over 500 visual assets, it's just like it was me acting as an artist that was obsessed with composition, like putting out these cool little video loops that were at the root based in art practice. Okay. So yeah, the goals for CG visuals is to really center the artist. So I keep saying, like, as a tagline, in artist first economy, because as it stands, there has been some significant changes in terms of how art is going in the emerging tech scene. There's a lot of great art out there combining art and technology, but is it at the risk of leaving behind our traditional artists, and in the sense, uh, in the way that we have always thought about art? So yeah, it's just kind of finding this like happy medium where we are empowering our artists and not leaving them behind. So yeah, CG Visuals has a lot of long-term goals. So yeah, just to list a few, to become this, essentially this go-to platform for ethical artist-owned visuals. So yeah, finding a way so if artists input visuals into this operative system, they are equally compensated and feel equally empowered. And then expanding into the mental health industry, as well as, yeah, just having a more fair revenue system when it comes to digital art monetization. Okay, so, oops, left that what's it called, the default message there. But yeah, so let's get into it. So today is me doing a demo of this Hydra platform and the operative system that I've been using in order to get to creating all of these visual assets, all 500 of them. And it's really interesting too. Um, these assets still contain the essence of the artwork. I just want to put emphasis on that these assets still contain the essence of the work. These 500 visuals, if I pick a random one, I can tell you what painting I originally used to remix it, to create a different variation of it. And I think that's that's pretty cool. Um, and I hope that this system of working can help you in your own art practice, or if you are in another industry, you can benefit from it, and it will encourage you to work and collaborate with other artists as well, because the goal here is to maintain art practice, and there is some level of importance to curating an art practice. So yeah. So yeah, gonna demo. We're gonna select our matrix. That's what we start with. So just the general art piece, like 2D, traditional art piece, be it painting, printmaking, whatever you're using. And then we'll do a quick setup using this website called NeoCities, and I'll explain the kind of tech reasoning as far as to, excuse me, why we're going to use that. And then we'll do more of a deep dive into the code layout of Hydra. Okay. Um, any questions before we move forward? Is the audio and visual still good? Just if you are able, just put a little star in the comment section again. We're making pretty good time here. Yeah, we're at, okay, cool. All right, so let's get going then. So we have a lot of ground to cover. All right, cool. All right, so our starting matrix. So I invited some artists to join for the workshop today. They have uh, been very lovely and contributed some of their art pieces for today. So I just want to just quickly read their statement. So this is Lucy here. She's an artist based out of Hangzhou, China. Um, Lucy's work is very interesting. So she identifies as a graphic designer, AI artist, and an artist creator. This piece that you guys are seeing to the right is called Poem of Solidified Flame. It's a poem of solidified flame welling up from the heart of the earth, composed of countless irregular planes and meandering lines. It resembles flowing lava or branching veins unveiling growth, the most primordial gesture of life without a single real leaf. Is very its very existence is a cry of growth. Branches stretch with rhythmic momentum like a slow yet forceful explosion, instantly igniting the stillness of the scene. Okay, so that's Lucy. We'll be using Lucy's piece to remix and display this system. This is oh typo there, not Lucy, but this is Carla's piece. So myself, I contributed a piece in my recent one of my more recent art pieces. So I'll just explain a little bit about this piece in my art practice. So I identify as an abstract expressionism for years now. Um, and I use this particular genre of art to explore emerging tech, and I function on using painting matrix or painted matrices, and the work is constantly in flux. So I'll often work and revisit various paintings over the course of my art practice, which is it can be like pretty cool, I think, after a couple of years. And the piece is called Acuario de Queso. This particular piece was inspired by the 8M feminist movement and ecology in Mexico, and an aquarium. So, funny story about that. Great. So we're gonna do a quick setup using this website that I previously mentioned. So one of the important things about setting up through this video sensitizer that I mentioned is that we need to set up our images so they could live online. So let me explain what I mean by that. So firstly, that just means that we're basically creating our own website. There's other ways to get around this, but I really encourage you to just create your own website. NeoCities is a very good resource. It's a very good resource that allows you to store files on there and just be able to have specific files that understand the language that these technologies need in order to function. Okay, so So yeah, let me go ahead and we're gonna leave the PowerPoint here for just a moment, just so I can share the NeoCities. So all right, let's hope that everything techie behaves right now with the share screen. So yeah, knock on wood here. Oh, let me pull up the NeoCities actually. 1 second. Okay, so gonna be sharing the NeoCities page here. Um, don't mind me, I just gotta plug my laptop real quick. It's dying. Type B lady here. I'm kidding. Yeah, so NeoCities, it's a create your own website. So that's what we're gonna do essentially. So I'm already logged in here. And if you actually, let me go ahead and just stop sharing for a second. I'm gonna just quickly share a link of the file. I put it in the Eventbrite, but in case you did not get it, this is the link so you can follow along with the code and such. Okay, apologies for that. 1 second. All right, so that is the link for the Google Doc. If you want to follow along with the links and the code, etc., all that good stuff should be on there. All right, so again, we're using NeoCities. Yeah, so this is NeoCities here. It's basically this this website so you can create your own website essentially. So this is how your homepage should look for NeoCities, and you can just basically create your own page. So let me just log in here. So I once you're able to make your account and everything, it basically gives you this like just bare bones default web page that you can utilize for yourself. And it gives a limited storage. I believe it's like 1 gigabyte. Right now, if you pay like $5 a month, you get 50 gigabytes, which is pretty good. So I have gone ahead and already uploaded the images that we will be using. So we uploaded Lucy's image and then my image right here. We'll be using those. So just to explain further, if you are following along with the link and the interface, once you are able to make an account, you should get to this page here, and you can create several websites here. So I can actually switch between websites, for example, and there's CG Visuals demo. Okay. So yeah, we're basically just using this as a place for the file to live, so we can use the web link in our video synthesizer. Okay. So uploading it here, I'm just gonna upload a random one. So yeah, once you upload it, you should just be able to click on it, and you should be able to see the image. Okay, let me just check back to see. All right, let me. Okay, so you should be able to Just 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna stop sharing for one moment. Okay, just had to switch it to share window instead of share tab because you guys couldn't see it. Okay, so now you should be able to see it. Mm. Okay, well, all right. So just sorry for that, guys. I just confused myself. um okay. So like I was saying, basically we want to use we want to be using this. Just pause, guys, 1 second. My computer is not charging. Yeah, so NeoCities is this very like cool platform where you could just essentially build your website and you can have like a bunch of links living there. So it's just kind of neat to do. Okay, so we see it now. This is what we wanted to show. We want to add this to the stage. Okay, well, I hope that y'all can see the screen that I am sharing. uh, yeah, so I'm currently sharing through, but if you can't see it, I'm just gonna walk you through it. So essentially what I'm doing right now is uploading the file so we can use it for the synthesizer. So you should be able to see Lucy's image. It should say CG Visuals demo.neocities, blah, blah, blah. And we are looking at lucy1.jpg. So this here is the key. This is the key, like technical part of, or the technical part of it that we need in order to input it into the Hydra. This is literally like the most techie part that you're gonna encounter in this process. Okay, so then let's go ahead and continue and open Hydra real quick. So this is the video synthesizer that I kind of just been playing around with a bunch. Okay, I'm gonna just stop sharing for a second here and get back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so let's go ahead and discuss the core code that we're gonna be using in the Hydra synthesizer. So this is usually how, or this is how the Hydra synthesizer usually looks. It's like got an existing Creative Commons visual that an artist in the creative coding community has shared. So that's kind of cool. And then here is the initial code that we're gonna be exploring, or we're gonna be using. So this is like the kind of the default code that I had inputted in that Google Doc that I shared in the YouTube video comments. And let me just kind of walk through what these little words and syntax means. So we have sl.initImage. That's just basically telling you where the file lives. So if you notice here, I have already inputted the CG Visuals demo.neocities link. So basically the link of Lucy's artwork. And then next we have this thing called SRC. So what is SRC? This is basically a control that allows the file to be used in different ways. So like I said before, Hydra, this video synthesizers works with two languages, JavaScript. You maybe have heard of JavaScript before. It's just a type of language for programming. And then also it uses WebGL. So what's WebGL is the web graphics library. So essentially it just lets, this program live within the browser. So the key here with Hydra, this is how we're able to use it online. There are ways to use it offline, but for our purposes today, we're using it online. And it's cool because you can render, these graphics, these complex graphics, without using like a huge amount of memory on your computer, and like you don't end up frying it. Okay, so everything else after that is pretty self-explanatory. Excuse me, self-explanatory. So it's just basically descriptive words to describe what the code is doing. So from that point on, where my little arrow is hovering, we have things like modulate. So when we input our code or reactivate our code, our image is going to be literally doing that. It's going to be modulating. It'll be dancing. So you'll see what I mean once I share that. Voronoi, it just does like this like effect where it creates windows across the screen, and then the image is scrolling, and then out is basically letting the computer know that it got the coding message, and then render, it just renders, it outputs the updated code. Okay, so just wanted to throw that jargon out there in case you're curious. You can, do some more exploration, and I can share this PowerPoint afterwards too for those folks that are curious. So the next thing I wanted to explore is this idea of generative systems. So going back to the slide way earlier, when I talked about this guy, without realizing here, what I was doing was creating these generative systems. So this idea of machine learning, you are generating and regenerating systems in order to output images. Okay, for our purposes at least. Okay, so now that we have our system in place, let's make some VJ loops. So in order to make these VJ loops, we're gonna input our image into Hydra. So let's go back to Hydra. So if you were able to access the Google Doc, you can go ahead and copy that code under where it says starter code example just image. That's what we're going to be using. So it should look like this here. Okay, so I'm off screen doing that right now. I'm copying, and I'm about to share the Hydra platform again so you guys can see. Okay, so here's the Hydra platform again. We're gonna go ahead and input this new code so you can just get rid of that code right there, that existing code, and then you just copy paste it in right in. So as you can see, I already have the Lucy image in here, but I'm gonna delete it and then I'm gonna go find it in NeoCities. So if I go back to my NeoCities page where excuse me, wow, I essentially uploaded the image to create a hyperlink. So I go ahead and click on that. So I go ahead and click on that link and I'm just going to copy it at the browser. I'm going to copy at the browser and then I'm going to input it into the Hydra platform. So just basically put it in there. So that's where it should live. This web link, it should live in the init image section of the file. And then I literally just hit clear shift enter. And by the way, guys, there's like a guide on Hydra to use this. So if I'm going really fast, don't worry. I'm just demoing right now. We'll get to play with it a little bit more in the next half of this presentation. Okay, so if you are able, you should be seeing right now Lucy's video, um, Lucy's art in front of us, and it should be modulating. It should be kind of jiggling around. So, all right, just want to make sure everyone's on the same page here. Okay, I'm sending a heart in the group chat. Okay, great. So just had to gather myself for a second. Sorry about that. Okay, so you should be seeing right now on the screen the image for Lucy's artwork, and it's modulating. So we're just gonna play around a little bit with this so you can see just kind of the extent as to what you can do with this Hydra platform. So I'm just gonna kind of just like play with the numbers a little bit. Oh, that's kind of a lot. Let's see. Can y'all see the shared screen? Okay, now you should be able to see it. Apologies, I didn't share it to the stage. Now you should be able to see it. So right now what I'm doing is essentially just kind of playing around with the code here. So you can do different things with it to make it do what you want it to do. So right now, I think right now, it's kind of like scrolling from side to side. I want it to scroll up and down. So I'm just gonna change that to scroll Y. So notice how that kind of changed the perspective of the image a bit. I also want to maybe modify the color a bit for Lucy's image. So the program recognizes color using uh, RGB. So for printing, you use like CMKY, and then for color on a device, you're using RGB. So red, green, blue. So we're gonna input some random values here. and see what happens. Okay, it like completely changed the color palette of the image. All right, so there's a couple other functions that we can play around with modulate. So I'm just gonna do modulate repeat. So as you can tell, it repeated the image. There's another thing called collide. Um, it will give it this different effect. So basically creating different effects, and you're applying it to your existing artwork. So in this case, our contributing artist Lucy. All right, so let's go ahead and use another matrix. We're gonna use the other image. So my image, I'm going back to the NeoCities page. Um, so I'm off screen right now, but I'm just basically just gathering the link of the image. Oh, there you go. That's what was going on. So that file is a bit big, so it's taking a while to load. I do encourage, if you're uploading an image, it's best to use a lower resolution of that image, so less pixelations, so it'll, you know, as you're scrolling or you're looking at stuff on your phone, it will populate more quickly because there's less lag. So that's why it's lagging, because the image I inputted the raw file, and as a result, it's lagging. So, but anyways, we have that link now. Um, we have that link now, and we're gonna just add it to our code. So here's again, our existing code, s0.initImage. We have Lucy's painting, but we're gonna replace it now with my painting, Aquario, okay? And what should happen is it should populate my image. So I'm gonna stop sharing for just a second. So yeah, like I said, that file was too large. I'm gonna use another one of my pieces that is not as overwhelming for the computer. Okay, so we're gonna do that real quick. So again, I went ahead and copied that link into the Hydra visualizer. Okay. So going ahead and sharing again the screen. I'm gonna just share the window this time because I think that's what's causing further lag. Um, so let me do that instead. Okay, so okay, it did update. So if you can tell, there is a different image now. I uploaded a different artwork, so it looks a little bit different. I'm gonna change the code so it looks more obvious. Right now, it looks, because it has the collide output, it doesn't look as obvious. So, and let me get rid of the color too. Okay, so this is the new image that we're working with here. So this is oh, it did take my Aquadia piece. Okay, it took a minute. Um, so this is the different, we switched from Lucy's to the Aquadia piece. And like I said, it is lagging because the file is so large. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a smaller file. So this is still the Aquario series, but it's a variation of it. So it looks a little bit more computerized, for lack of a better phrase. So there you go, it populated. And it's a little bit more obvious because I got rid of the color. So let me go ahead and make an obvious change for the color here. Let's see what that does. Yeah, there you go. Completely changed the color of the image, but the essence of the composition is still there. All right, because there is a bit of a lag, I'm gonna just keep the code a bit simple here. All right, we're about 7 minutes till the hour. I'm gonna have us take a little break. And during the break, I'll showcase some of the music of our musician friends that have allowed us to share their music for this workshop. And it's just a preview too, because we're gonna be using music for for our coding session in the next half of the workshop. So just hang in there. If you guys need to grab a snack or to go run to the bathroom real quick, you can do that now. Yes, so someone in the chat asked, has it mostly been Hydra until this point? Yeah. So we've just been exploring Hydra, the Hydra interface. I did have a bit of a just intro to CG Visuals and some of CG Visuals goals. So we'll be continuing with Hydra in the second part of the platform. Right, folks, just to give everyone a chance to hop back on, I'm just gonna share one of the tracks from our musician friends. So our invited musician friends are Radio Matalo. He's based out of Cuernavaca, Morelos, in Mexico, and he allowed us to share his music today, as well as the Black Tie Mafia here, who also allowed us to use their music today. So enjoy that as folks kind of trickle back in.
Ay amor, qué pena me das, pero tus restos frecuentes tal vez nadie los escuchará. Ay amor, qué pena me da que la imagen de paraíso no la podrás apreciar. Si el amor permite lealtad, todo ese amor que tengas tú se lo tienes que entregar. Ay amor, entiéndelo yo, el camino dirigimos a una eterna muerte sin final.
No hablo de un dios, hablo del cerrojo, del miedo vestido de incienso, de la voz que dice no pienses y sonríe como si fuera amor. Hablo de manos limpias que nunca tocan la duda, de libros que sangran respuestas pero jamás permiten preguntas. La fe como jaula dorada, como un espejo que solo refleja lo que ya estaba permitido ver. Te enseñan a caminar en línea recta, aunque el alma nazca torcida. Y el castigo no es el infierno, es el silencio. Es aprender a amputarte ideas para encajar en un cielo que se parece demasiado a una prisión. No prohíben el pecado, prohíben la contradicción, porque pensar distinto es el único milagro que no saben controlar.
Ay amor, qué pena me das, pero tus restos frecuentes tal vez nadie los escuchará. Ay amor, qué pena me da que la imagen de paraíso no la podrás apreciar. Si el amor permite lealtad, todo ese amor que tengas tú se lo tienes que entregar. Ay amor, entiéndelo yo, el camino dirigimos a una eterna muerte sin final.
Okay, so that was Radio Matalos track. Um, see, just 1 second, gotta stop sharing. Okay, there we go. That's what we wanted. Okay, so back to the PowerPoint. So now we gotta set up our audio code for our interface. So previously, we were using our generative system and utilizing this specific code. If you go back to the chat and look at that Google Doc I shared, it has the code that we're utilizing. Okay. So it should look like this. Now we're going to be inputting our audio reactive code. And if all technicals goes well, you guys will be able to experience the extent of the platform. Okay. So going back to our Hydra, um, so just gonna grab that code real quick and going back to the Hydra platform. I'll have to share the screen one more time. Okay, so here's the Hydra platform, and you can see I have the music loaded up as well. So for this next demoing, I'm gonna share the next track from uh, Black Tie Mafia. Okay. So here's the code we're gonna. Oh, well, this is not the code. This is the default code that Hydra has, and we want to go ahead and get rid of that real quick. This is like another artist from the. There's a bit of a lag, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of some tabs here. All right, one second, guys. Okay, let the system catch up. Okay, so all right. Apologies for you can hear me, send a star. All right, can you hear me now? Okay, so the system's lagging a bit, so gave us a lot of issue there. But we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving. So yeah, basically what we're doing now is trying to input the code and include a bit of audio with that. So let's go ahead and we're gonna open up a new tab for Hydra if the system allows. Okay, we're gonna. No? Okay, you can't hear it? Okay, so that didn't work. Okay, yeah, if you want to take a little break, that's good. We're having some issues right now. Good. All right, so yeah, we're just gonna switch to the default mic. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So I mean that's like, you know, real life technology will crash. So that's why it's so important to empower, you know, our tangible things as well. So yeah, I'm nervous that the Hydra will crash. So I'm gonna just keep the code as simple as possible, in order to show the extent of the program. Okay, so I'm opening up Hydra on a off screen right now, and then I'm gonna just pull it up when it's ready, to avoid it crashing again. Yeah, so right now the platform we're using is StreamYard, but for the purposes of what we're doing, I recommend Video Ninja. You can connect it to OBS. So just a fun fact there. Yeah, we're nearing the end of the workshop. The next part is bringing folks on. So depending on how the lag, if the lagging persists, we might not be able to do that part. So apologies for that. I'm gonna go ahead and resend the Google Docs, so at the least y'all can see the links that we are working with here. In theory, Hydra works well within the browser as long as you're using Wi-Fi. So it just is having some issues with all the different programs we have going here. So, but yeah, here is the Google Doc in the group chat. You guys are welcome to take a look at it, and that should have all of the links of what we've covered today, including NeoCities and Hydra, as well as some starter code that you can use for our exercise. Okay, so it seems it's froze for a couple of you. Okay, no worries. And we talked about generative systems. So basically creating a system that you can use over and over again. So in this case, we did it almost conceptually, but using Hydra, we're able to create various visuals. And we covered some jargon for or definitions for the code, so different terms within the syntax of the code. We also learned how to set up our images so they're web friendly, so you can input the image into the video synthesizer. If I were to go more in depth, you can input or you can translate the links for images, but also videos and sound. Okay. And just CG visuals, we like to be very adjacent to other types of art practices, be it visual artists, be it performance, be it being music. So we hope to do this workshop, more iterations of it, with more successful technology in the future, as well as elements of live performance. So one thing I didn't mention before I even started exploring this video synthesizer and this kind of planting the seeds for our goals with CG visuals. So just going back to that slide of our long-term goals, is that this can be applied to live performances and empower musicians, because at the end of the day, we want other musicians, other artists to find each other in order to collaborate in real life and use technology as this tool essentially to enhance their practice, not to replace it, not to exploit it. So yeah, those are essentially our goals. All right, so I'm gonna try once more and see if we can continue this workshop. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties with the platform, so this is a learning experience for everyone. So might have to use Video Ninja next time. So we'll go ahead and share again. It seems to have calmed down a bit, so we may be able to continue. So we're gonna just remove the PowerPoint and add the Hydra onto the stage. Okay, so you should be able to, oh, just kidding. So you should be able to see the visualizer now. Yeah, okay, it populated, great. Okay, that was a little embarrassing. But it is what it is. So yeah, like I said, if you're able to follow along with the Google Doc, you'll have the code in front of you. So right now the code that we are focusing on is under the bolded starter code example image and sound. So you can just go ahead and just grab that code, and we're gonna input it back into our Hydra visualizer. Okay, so remove the existing code. This is a nice image provided from the Creative Commons. So there's other artists that input their own visuals into the platform. Okay, and then we want to go ahead and grab our image again. We're gonna go with the one that is, we'll go with Lucy's. That one seemed to give us less issue. Okay, there it is. So we have our Hydra image, and I've replaced the existing code with the audio reactive code. So we don't want this text here, the audio reactive present, so you can either just delete it, or you can do 2 backslashes and it'll get rid of it. So anything that's like this orange color is not active. You can also just simply delete it. Okay, so bring that up, and then let's clean this up a little bit. All right, great. So I've gone ahead and, or if you can see, I used to like essentially cheat and upload my images into wikimedia.org, but they don't really like that. They'll end up deleting it because, you know, Wikimedia is more of like this reference or encyclopedia type thing. So that's why I recommend putting it in like NeoCities instead. So we have our link, and we're just gonna go ahead and the commands for updating the code is Control Shift Enter. So that should populate it. It's looking a little crazy, so let's just calm it down a bit. So that's the existing image there, if you can see it. And notice here, again, we have s0.init image right here. So this part of the code, if you're able to see it on your screen, it just has the, it's basically telling the web browser where the image is located on the web. So we have our hyperlink essentially of our image. So this is Lucy's image that's rotating here. Then we have the SRC, and then we have the commands. So modulate, scroll. I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of the color real quick so we can see what Lucy's image looks, you know, originally like. It's got that red and green hue. And then I don't want it to be rotating like that. It's making me a little dizzy, so we're just gonna get rid of that. Okay. So right now, the new part of the code that we have essentially just like added to pick up on any noise that the mic is picking up. So right now, as I'm talking, it's picking up my voice because I switched from my headphones to the Mac audio. I'm using a Mac. It is picking up the audio from that. So essentially, what we're looking at here, it's doing the same action as the modulate that made the image shake, but now we have modulate noise, and then this key part of the code, a.fft, it deals with the frequencies of the audio. So that's what it's picking up. For fun, as long as the system allows, we're gonna go and play my buddy's track here, or the duo Black Tie Mafia, and see what it does to it. Okay, so let's pull their audio up real quick. Okay, so if you can hear the music, let me know by putting a star. But regardless if you can't hear the music or not, it is affecting the code right now. So this is a full line of the code that, yeah, literally by switching the line of code, it picks up the audio, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, we're essentially we're live coding just by making a couple of adjustments. I switched up the color, and I'm gonna rotate it now. Let me make it a little less chaotic by switching the values. So yeah, it's very simple. Once you have like a default Can y'all hear the audio? Can y'all hear the track? Baby, let me see that fruit. Niggas thinking T.I. when I say king, but really should think man some motion. Show you some money you won't understand. Took me some time, I was building a brand. Way I be living, I feel like the man. Baby, tell me I'm the best in the land. Maybe some chicken I paid Uncle Sam. Niggas don't listen, I don't give a damn. Been at the top and I've been in the jam. Niggas want beef and I'm baking a ham. All black AMG, 63, it'll lose any trooper. Mama keep praying for me. I'm just saying hallelujah. Just got a call from the dealer. Yeah, that new bitch is waiting on me. Call my jeweler, soprano, Prezi, box of papers, cost of Jesus for the tone. Way that I talk, think I'm bigger than beach. Girl, I'm a dog, got the game on a leash. Pour up the Henny, I'm giving a speech. Talk like the Prezi, I won't get impeached. Came with a baddie, about sand to the beach. Way that I'm stepping, that boy is a beast. Yeah, moving around like I'm breaking a lease. Money so straight, man, it don't got a crease. All of this weight, man, I need a masseuse. All in the air while I'm knocking a loose. Fresh out the gate and I stepped in the booth. Got a little money, put gold on my tooth.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your question. So basically what I am building is creating this operative system that invites visual artists to input their images into the system. So basically, I'm building like the foundation of a platform that will be able to connect to existing DJ formats. So like, for example, like Touch Designer, Hydra itself, that can be used for performance, and we'll have like a fair share revenue system. But and the way to do that is using existing art and applying tools such as Hydra to it. So yeah, leaving the essence of like 2D art, so painting, print making, etc., and applying tools in emerging tech to output more visuals. So yeah, it's in progress. But this here, Hydra, this program here, the video sense visualizer already exists. It's an open source video synthesizer that's out there, and it's pretty well documented if you want to explore.
But yeah, essentially, CG Visuals is using Hydra as a tool. Okay, before it goes loco on me again. But yeah, do you guys have any questions? Any other questions? I don't know if I planned on for this workshop to invite guests onto the screen in order to practice in real time with them, but because we've been having a lot of technical issues, the chosen platform my chosen platform is not cooperating right now, unfortunately. So I may have to end the presentation short. But yeah, any questions before we tackle that and end the presentation possibly short here. Okay. Since the beginning. Thank you for those of you that joined a little later. Thank you also for joining, and apologies for the technicalities or technical difficulties we've experienced. I will have another workshop the following Saturday. So next weekend it will be in Spanish though. Um, so we'll resolve these technicalities then. But yeah, this is the first iteration of hopefully more of these type of workshops, and they will be hybrid. So have like a real concert DJ element to it. But yeah, we're kind of just planting the seeds here. If you want to check out the different VJ loops that I have made using Hydra, you can check it out on the YouTube page, CG Visuals. Yeah, you can check that all out on there, and feel free to share the Google Doc. I have it as public right now, so that includes all of those links that we reviewed. And I will go ahead and share this presentation. I might edit it a bit to account for some of the lag. But yeah, thank you so much for sticking it out with me, guys. And I hope you learned something today, and at least thought about just a way that we can really the technology is not stopping. So as artists, how can we still exist as artists and maintain the essence of our art practices and use the existing technology if we want to help our art practice. Okay. All right, thanks everyone. I'm gonna end this presentation a little prematurely, but yeah, if y'all have any questions, we're gonna have to end it here. Okay, did y'all catch that? Okay. Oh, someone asked how long have I been doing, how long have I been using Hydra? I was introduced to Hydra late 2022, so I've been using it for a while, but I have been using it in a very particular way. Yeah, my goal is to, jump the learning curve here. But yeah, as I said before, it's pretty well documented. So if you wanted to explore it, for whatever your goals are with it, you could probably find it on that documentation. And for as far as like CG visuals, we essentially built a library right now that we're trying to use for these other existing tech platforms, and creating this system of generative artwork. CG visuals, we are aware of like things like AI and stuff, but we are trying to build very intentionally. So along the way, like we're being conscious of like the environment and like artists. So yeah, so there's a lot of work left to do, but wanted to share this workshop with you. And I'll be sending out a survey as well, so look out for that in the next week if you're interested. That would be very helpful to me as I'm building this out, and to see where this type of platform really fits. If it's like doesn't fit, what adjustments can be made. But yeah, Hydra is a tool that CG Visuals has been using in pursuit of growing out. Any other questions? We've got like about 15 minutes left until the workshop was supposed to end at 3. But as I said, we won't be bringing folks on to the streaming because we're having too much technical difficulties. But feel free to shoot me an email. Here is my the slide didn't update, but I'll put my contact in the chat. Feel free to send me an email if you have any other questions, or just want to say hey. And then our social media is also CG Visuals 7. We have TikTok and Instagram. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, and we're gonna end it here. Have a great rest of your Saturday wherever you are. Yeah, we're pretty international crowd here. All right, have a good day, y'all. Bye.